Where Linus comes back with his like wide-eyed wonder.
Basically came back and immediately started trying to disseminate everything I saw, all the video, all the pictures, to the whole team.
This was an after-class session that every team is kind of trying to come up with their POV.
Who are you designing for? Who's the user and what is their need? And then from that you form a point of view.
And then coming up with this point of view is the next big thing, you know, where you kind of figure out who your user is and what their need is. And that's probably the place where you have to spend the most amount of time ever, because that pretty much sets the trend for what happens later on.
So there was a lot of storytelling, like space saturation, right? We've lots of pictures, video, just about Linus's experiences there.
And he was sharing some of what he found. So one of the interesting things was that there were actually a lot of donated incubators in the hospital, but they were all empty.
And then so the doctor tells him, yeah, actually most of these babies die out in rural areas, right? So then they actually took a trip to one of these rural areas.
A woman who had given birth to a premature baby had taken the baby to a local village doctor, and the doctor said to her, I don't have the equipment necessary to care for this baby. You need to take her to the nearest city hospital so she can be placed in an incubator. But the woman can't get to that hospital in time. It's over 4 hours away, and as a result, the baby dies.
It's this desperate parent, okay, and we could feel the angst, okay, and we need to provide them some means of giving this baby a shot at living. We had to decide where we're going to design for. Are we going to design for the extreme remote areas? Are we going to design for something in between? So on the one hand, there's a clear need here for something that will work in rural areas. On the other hand, there's the engineer in me telling me, dude, that's going to be hard. We had mixed opinions on this, right? Some people on the team wanted to do the more remote setting. Others wanted to do something, and I was one of the others who was caught in two minds. Should we actually be doing something more tractable, right? That can actually be done by the end of the class. We were stuck here, and finally we get one of the TAs in this class, which again happens to be Sarah, who I consulted before the class. And she came up and said, we presented her with what we are facing, and she said, you know, given a choice, I'd say go after the hard challenge. See, this is what puts the extreme in extreme affordability. Okay. He said, okay, fine. We'll see what we can do with the more rural setting. And so our POV became what it is, which is a desperate parent in a remote village needs to give their dying baby a chance to survive. Okay. So that was a POV, and that was, I think, a point of definition where we did. So this means, okay, we're going to rethink the problem here.
Our point of view, the user is a desperate parent living in a remote village who needs the means to give her dying baby a chance to survive. So that's how we reframe the problem. It's no longer about the clinician, but about the parent.
We've also taken a step back from incubators, and we're saying that we're trying to give these babies a chance to survive.
That's where we defined the problem, and that's where we said, all right, we're going to try to do something, and we always, for this user and for this need, and we always we posted it on our whiteboard, and we'll always go back and say, okay, are we still addressing this point of view? You know, after every time we come up with a prototype and every time we do an iteration or something like that, are we still focusing, you know, are we still making sure that we're reaching this user and meeting their needs?
The point of view is staring at us from the board every day as we work.
It keeps us grounded, right? Instead of going everywhere, you just always go back and, you know, make sure that you're you're fighting the good fight type thing.
It's very powerful to have to have something written down, and that's constantly guiding us in this process.
We always try to bring it back to that POV, and so that's sort of why we came with the design and took it in sort of a different direction.
I'm Rahul Panikar. I'm a design thinker.
I'm Linus Liang, and I'm a design thinker.
I'm Nagmurthy, and I'm a design thinker.
I'm Jane Chen, and I'm a design thinker.